precisely 7.5 minutes after that, you're gonna bring us 2 more. Then 2 more after that every 5 minutes until one of us passes the fuck out.
It's up to each and every one of you, my highly trained Stratonites, my killers who will not take no for an answer. My fucking warriors will not hang up the phone until their client either buys or fucking dies!
Well. GM. G. To the M. Morning, my friends. DJs, Diamond Hand fam, Forge and Fuel crew, super soldiers, 1%ers, pioneers, pivoters, pursuers, builders, brothers and sisters, hermanos y hermanas, mamas y papas, anyone I may have left out, and anyone in between. Welcome back, and welcome into the best way to start your day. It's time to get fired up at Forge and Fuel. Baby.
Woo!
Wow!
Woo!
Woo! Woo!
Oh yeah!
Oh, yeah! Ooh, lightweight, baby! Here we are, back live in prime time on your favorite way to start a Friday. It's Forge and Fuel, baby, the 712th episode of this fine morning program, and it is April the 18th, 2025, and we hope you're ready to come alive, because we got more motivation, more inspiration, more good vibration, and more high-level conversation coming your way over the duration of this program than you're going to know what to do with, baby. My friends, if you don't know, you won't know, but I am your humbled, honored, and clearly always hyped host, Colton Capp Sroka, and I can't thank you enough for choosing to stop by, hang out with me and my guy, and dive down some motivational and inspirational rabbit holes unlike any other. Now, who is my guy? Well, he may be some of your man, my guy, the one, the only, Mr. Producer of this fine morning program, the one and only Derek Deezy Snow, D-double-E-Z-double-Y, was on and popping, my guy.
Baby!
Ooh, ooh, hey, I was shredding some chest yesterday thinking about you. Who's to say, who's to know, just trying to live vicariously through your absolute barrel chest. Who's to say, who's to know? I am man enough to admit it. I am jealous of DZ's chest here right on this show. And, you know, maybe he's a little jealous of my back. So maybe I'll give him a little of my back. He'll give me a little of his chest. And then when you guys see us live in primetime at the end of June, you'll be like, oh my goodness, is that Capp and DZ, or is that the Smash Bros? That just looks like a couple of guys who you put some weights in front of them. They're just going to pick them up, put them down, and smash them to absolute shit. That's what we're going for here. Who's say, who's to know? Yeah, buddy. Who's say, who's to know? But shout out to my man, your guy, D-double-E-Z-double-Y, always making me look good and sound good on this program. Shout out to all you beautiful human beings tuning in live in prime time, ready to get your day started the right way. But before we go any further, as always, I must remind each and every one of you to do a few things for us here on this side of the screen. While you're laughing and getting yourself together, beginning this morning program, maybe you could take just a few moments to smash that subscribe button on whatever platform you are currently ingesting the Forge and Fuel podcast on. If you are watching on YouTube, you might as well hit that notification bell. Directly located. I about said derocated. Directly located. Hey, that's a new word for you. Directly located next to that subscribe button, so you never miss the start of a live show or any additional content dropping here on the channel. Hey, sometimes English is hard, you know? Just bear with me as we go with the flow. And if you're enjoying this morning's show, maybe you could hit that like button right over on this area somewhere. That way you can help that algo go and flow on the old tube of the U variety. But maybe you don't like that old YouTube. Maybe you like a little more censorship-free platform. Maybe something called the RUMBLE. And if you're tuned in over there on the platform for you and me, maybe you could take a moment to smash that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and even crush a like button as well, and help that algo go and flow on the Rumble. But maybe you're not watching on either one of those platforms. Maybe your viewing platform of pleasure is also the doubling of your everything app. It's where you get your news, your knowledge, your insights, and everything in between, on top of getting motivated and inspired by this show each and every morning. And if you're tuned in over on X right now to Forge and Fuel, please take a moment to smash that heart button. to hit that repost and to crush that quote post button and let the people know on your X timeline why you have decided to tune in live in prime time to Forge and Fuel this morning. And last, but certainly not least, if you are listening to this podcast on your favorite podcast directory like Apple, Amazon, or maybe even watching on Spotify, maybe you could take a moment to give us a follow, leave us a 5-star rating, or in all honesty, just take a moment to smash the shit out of whatever button you see on your screen, because it only helps us continue to grow and flow on all those platforms as well. Nah, man.
Yeah, buddy.
Shout out to all you beautiful humming beings tapped in, tuned in, locked in live in prime time to episode 712 of Forge and Fuel. And I've already hit those buttons. Help us get going and flowing in the old algo rhythm this morning. Shooting all the way over here. Hey, I'm over here. What the hell's going on? Attack on camera. But maybe you haven't hit those buttons yet. Maybe you're sitting here saying, why the hell do I need to do that? Why would I hit those buttons? I mean, I'm just tuning in for a little motivation, inspiration. I got no reason to do that.
Be rude.
Well, as 45 and 47 just said, a.k.a. DJT, a.k.a. the one and only, you don't want to be rude. You don't want people to look at you like a rude individual, like you tuned in and didn't help the show grow as we help you grow as an individual. Maybe this show makes you laugh. Maybe this show makes you cry. Maybe this show makes you think. Maybe this show makes you go, I ain't never thought of it that way before. And if so, don't be a hoe, share the show, be a friend, tell a friend, let somebody know, and we will proceed with this morning's program. That's right, my friends. Whip up your proverbial vehicular devices of life, drop them into one of the many Forge and Fuel parking spots, and get ready for this morning's feature presentation. Because I will be the first to tell you that we got vibe after vibe, thought after thought, perspective after perspective coming your way on this fantastic Friday. Without any, you better believe another one. But before we go any further, we must get a little hydrated and a touch caffeinated. So first of all, cheers to me, cheers to thee. Good morning, Vietnam! So a little update. We're now on to medium roast, and I now have breakfast blend. I am working my way down the Starbucks line there at the Walgreens on the corner there. And right now they have a daggone deal going on Starbucks. That shit's usually like $14.99, and it's $6.99 with the doggone member card at the Walgreens. I said, well, I would be stupid to not be buying this. So right now, sipping on some breakfast blend, and I am a pothead. Who's to say, who's to know? Oh, wait a minute. I need a little heat. Biscuits and mustard. Shout out Sling Blade. Little hydration for you as always. Oh. Nothing like a couple of hydrogen molecules bonding with some oxygen molecules and then just facilitating all around your body and going into the mighty mitochondria, creating more energy for the cell, that high quality ATP, baby.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, you know the vibes. I used to pay attention in school from time to time.
Wrong.
However, hey, well, yeah, maybe you're right. Who's say, who's no? I did almost fail out my freshman year of college. However, my friends, as you get your first cups of Java, or maybe your 10th cups of Java filled up, your glasses or bottles of water, whatever you might have by your side, we slide into your opening, my friends, your faux opening of this fine morning program. And if you don't know, you won't know. This is where we like to kick it off. Nice and slow, nice and easy, We don't get too deep down the rabbit holes and try and start pumping your brain full of mindsets and thoughts and perspectives. When you barely even knock the sleep out of your eyes for the day. You're hitting your first stretch, and then all of a sudden we're just hitting you with motivation. Bam, 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 bam. Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow it down just a little bit. See, mere moments ago, I said, if you tune into this show, you may do one of three things, and hopefully you do all three things. You laugh, you cry, and you think. And right here, right now, we are going to deliberately check that first box of the day, tickle that funny bone, and slap those knees, baby, as we get into your morning laughs, and all 1, 2, and 3 coming your way. My friends, this morning's morning laughs are quite nice. They get you going. There's some good ones here. The first one is dedicated to all my gambling friends. Whether you are a sports gambler, like I used to be, every once in a while I still get a little action. Maybe you're a poker player. Maybe you enjoy a little Jack of the Black variety. Maybe you like some baccarat, you know. Give me the monkey, give me the monkey, give me the monkey, give me the monkey. Who's to say? Who's to know? Maybe you like some Keno. I don't know. But maybe you're a gambler. And my camera's all over the place this morning. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. We're active. So this is dedicated to you. And you know, sometimes you're down. You're down bad. Especially when you're on that blackjack table. You came with about $1,000 if you're a Gen Pop better. But maybe you came with $100,000 and you kept rinsing. And then you refilled and you rinsed and you refilled and you rinsed and you refilled. And you were down to your last 10,000 buckaroonies. And then it was like the heavens opened up. And the best thing possible could have happened. My friends, joining us now, the one and only Togi, who just absolutely kills me, to give us his story, most recently, on gambling.
For 20 hours straight at the casino, I kept rinsing and Steve kept refilling. I kept rinsing and Steve kept refilling. Steve got too tired, we went to bed. We were down to our $10,000. What that is. $250,000 buckaroonies, Mom. Check it out. We've been gambling for 20 hours straight at the casino. I kept rinsing and Steve kept refilling. I kept rinsing and Steve kept refilling. Steve got too tired, we went to bed. We were down to our $10,000. What that is. $250,000 buckaroonies, Mom. Check it out.
$250,000 buckaroonies, Mom. Check that out. That just... Oh, fucking Togi. Woo, that man gets me. Obviously, he's a bodybuilder. Takes a shitload of steroids. He's very open about it. It's hilarious. One of the best content creators, the younger content creators in that generation. Not because he's pushing steroids by any means, but he is just a funny bastard. Right there. $250,000 buckaroonies, Mom. Oh, shit. Who's to know? If you're a true gambler, you've been there. 20 hours straight in the casino. Down to the last little bit, and then all of a sudden that hand flops, and boy, oh boy, you make it all back, and you say, oh! You're buying drinks for everybody, even though drinks are free. You're saying, round for everybody! And then they're tipping the waitress, and you're tipping the dealer, and you're just, oh, life is back to a little sense of normalcy. And then you go to sleep, you wake up again, and, well, hopefully you're not that much of a degenerate.
You just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Woo! There you have it, my friends. Morning laugh number 1, $250,000 buckaroonies. Morning laugh number 2 features a man that I am a massive fan of. A man that I would love to have a personal conversation with at some point in time. He is the legendary Jose Antonio. You got to know the real OG in order to know who that is. The man, the myth, the legend, Uncle Joey, Coco in the building, live on the Joe Rogan Experience with Joe himself and another legend in the comedy game, Andrew Dice Clay, baby. The one, the only. Dice in the building. This right here. You know, Joey enjoys him some vitamins. We enjoy us some vitamins. There are some viewers of this program who have recently found how quality gummies can be. Now, you think you are taking down the gummies. Well, Uncle Coco here to tell you and show you what real tolerance is.
Bars of death. So these purple ones are 200 milligrams. This is.
I take one of those, I'll sleep for 3 days.
This is 200
popped it like it's a mint.
Sure. Who the fuck you think you're dealing with? A novice?
How many milligrams are in those?
200 in this one.
Oh, you just threw a 200 down the hatch?
Dice,
I don't know if you know, but an effective dose is 20.
And what is he popping?
Just pop to 200. An effective dose is 20. Oh, fuck yeah. He'll drive well.
I could eat 3 of these. I can open up with 600 milligrams.
That's so insane.
And just ride out the fucking
600
way.
mil-
I go to bed at night like a baby. I put that mask on.
You know what I always say, like with weed? Like as stoned as you are, let's say, God forbid, there's some kind of emergency, you just throw water in your face. It's gone. It's not like alcohol,
Right.
where you don't know what you're doing.
Listen, you eat one of these stars, ain't no water gonna help you. The fucking fire department's
Yeah,
gotta
but
come
you're,
over.
you're eating like a pint of this.
Bruh.
You eat one of these, ain't no water gonna help you. The fucking fire department's gonna come over, start hosing you down. Oh shit! You take one of those stars of death, you're gonna hear your heartbeat.
Oh God!
You're gonna feel like you're dying, all right. Now, I will tell you, I probably could handle one of those stars of death. Now, that's probably all the more I could handle, because typically them old eatables, they don't get me as much, but then sometimes all of a sudden they sneak up on you. Every once in a while, they be sneaking up on you. And, you know, I took me about 20 the other day, and I said, oh, this is nice. I could use a little bit more. Who's say, who's no? So I don't know if I could ever get to old Coco's level. I mean, that's just crazy. He'd be bombing those things like it's nobody's business. Just tossed it back like it was a fucking mint. 200 milligrams down the hatch. Just... Do you understand what 600 milligrams does to a human being? 3 of those 600 milligrams. Do you understand that an edible? Oh, you start breathing hard. You start getting the sweats. I mean, do you understand that an edible, it has what is known as THCA, and it metabolizes in your blood that way instead of just regular THC. And THCA is 100 times, 1,000 times, something like that. I don't know, more psychoactive than THC itself. So it is going to cook your fucking brain. And if you take that much, be prepared. Yeah, wee-wees are right. Be prepared for a wild ride. Who's to say? Who's to know? There you have it, my friends. Some gummy stars for you. Maybe locate those at your local dispensary. Morning laugh number 3, my friends, comes from somewhere out there in the desert, way out there in one of those brigades, maybe a FOB, a forward operating base. You know, we're checking in with some of our nation's finest, the boys out there fighting the wars to keep us safe and free back at home. Well, oh, this isn't decoding the divide. Okay, we won't go down that rabbit hole. However, shout out to all of the men and women in our armed forces, whether you are active or veterans. We appreciate your service.
Thank you very much. That's really nice. Thank you.
Thank you for defending our country and our freedoms. However, we check in with some of your fellow branch mates, if you will, this morning. And you know, sometimes you're out there at the barracks, you're doing some things, and you say, you know what? I'd like to send a vidya to my sweetheart. I'd like to let her know that I'm okay out here. So you pick up your phone, you hand it to your buddy, your battle buddy, and you say, hey, man, record this. I want to send this to my wife. And this is what you get. Morning laugh number 3, friends and family.
Watch your husband try to put a tire. You're about to watch your husband try to put a tire on top of this Humvee. It's funny. You're gonna laugh.
Shut up, dude.
See all those tires in the back? That was me. You want me to keep recording?
You want me to keep recording?
You alright? I know, you're good.
I'm bleeding.
Hey, come here. Get away from there. We got all that on camera. Come here. Peanut, first off, are you okay? Yeah. Come here, dude. We got that whole thing on camera. Come here, look at me. Oh my god. Look at your chin. Your chin's the one that's got it bad. You might need stitches. Oh, yeah. Come on, man. Alright. You want to watch it? Paper towel or something. That was funny as fuck. Alright, here. Let's put the camera away. We're out. We're gonna get in trouble for this.
Oh, God.
Oh, I bet they did get a little trouble for that. Who's, you know? That poor guy's chin. Oh. Shout out once again to all of our members of the armed forces. Little military shenanigans for your third laugh of this morning. There you have it, my friends. Your 1, 2, and 3 morning laughs of this fine Friday. A little gambling, gummy stars, and some military shenanigans. But there you have it, my friends. Your opening of this morning program. Hope you had a funny bone tickled. Obviously, the chat did. Shout out to all you beautiful humming beans in the chat. I see you guys over there. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you got them abs, a little workout so far this morning. Got a little workout in one muscle. But speaking of, maybe it's time to work out another muscle. Another muscle that not many people realize you can exercise. Most people just think that muscle controls them when we actually control it ourselves. You might say, well, Cap, of course we control our muscles. What muscle would control us? Well, that would be your brain. Well, you ever thought about that? You ain't been using your brain like you use your bicep or your tricep or your hamstrings or your gluteus maximus. You just let it control you. Whoa. Well, maybe we can help you whip that sucker into shape this morning. Get it under control. Get yourself in a real good flow. Who's to say, who's to know? But it seems to me, as I would sure it appears to a few of thee, that it's time to get into your first official segment of the day. My friends, please sit back and relax, or get up and get ready, as the first era of the day is shot your way, as it is time for your sharpening session. Alrighty then, my friends. Here we are back live in prime time for your first official segment of the day, your sharpening session, here on episode 712 of Forge and Fuel on this fantastic Friday, April the 18th, 2025. And I hope you're really ready to come alive, because we've got some vibes going so far. We've had a nice morning laugh. We're starting to feel good. That coffee's starting to flow a little bit smoother here this morning. But now we really need to get it going. Now we really need to get that spark. Have that fire start to really burn. You got that little fire burning inside you, and you might just need a little help tossing some gasoline on top of it. Maybe a little kick in the pants. Just get you going down that path, That sounds like something you could use. Well, rip out a notebook and a pen or a pencil, whatever you might need to keep track of the knowledge and insights about to come your way as we get into the opening topic of the day. If you didn't see the title of the show, you may not know where we're about to go. If you didn't see the thumbnail of the day, you got no clue what I'm about to say. Even if you did, you still might not. So let me get you all the way up to date before I conversate on the opening topic of the secrets of Grow, Flow, Show. The secrets of Grow, Flow, Show. This morning, my friends, I wanted to give you some acronyms to take with you into the weekend. It's been a while since I've shared one of these bad boys, one moment at a time. OMAT. Something that you can write down on a note card or a piece of paper, fold it up, put it in your pocket, come back to it. Something you can consistently hang on to as you are on the consistent, persistent pursuit of your passions. You know, a few days ago, I came across this acronym and I thought it to be incredibly powerful. I really liked it. I didn't know exactly how I was going to work it in or where it was going to go. And then I came back to it last night and I found the acronym and I thought, what can I do with this? So in addition to finding this acronym, I've came up with 2 more acronyms. And these are still a work in progress. They might change a little bit. Who's to say, who's to know? But this is what I came up with as I really started getting in the intent of these mindsets and this perspective here for this morning's opening message. And if you saw the title, you see that Grow, Flow, and Show are all capitals with periods in between them. So those 3 words are the acronyms this morning. Now, when you look at grow, it's pretty easy to know the word, right? You're becoming better. You're evolving. You're leveling up. You're gaining new mindsets, getting better as a super soldier, getting further and further down the 1% path. Growth. Everybody knows what growth is. But notice how I just said all the good things that you're doing. Leveling up, reading the book, tuning into the podcast, writing the business plan, utilizing the secret formula. When everybody thinks about growth, they think about the good things that they're doing. But I'm here this morning to tell you that it may not be a bad thing to focus on the bad things that you're getting rid of. So the acronym that I want to share with you this morning, GROW, is getting rid of old ways. Getting rid of old ways. When you're growing, maybe it's better to realize that it's not about becoming, but unbecoming. Realizing that you're putting away things in the past. When you were a child, you thought as a child, you acted like a child, you spoke as a child. But when you became a man, you put childish things away. True growth is leaving those bad habits, those bad tendencies, those worst versions of you in the past, and not dragging them along with you to where you're going to go in the future. You ever notice why it seems so hard to grow? You're tapping into these books, these podcasts, you're trying to figure out the mindsets, but far too often you slip down the hill. You get lost in your thoughts. You get the case of the I don't wannas. Everything is terrible. Oh, I'm going to pack it in. I'm going to quit. It happens all the time, right? Great morning, Matilda. She likes the message so far. But as you're going forward, why does it seem so hard? Because you're carrying all those bad habits with you. You're holding on to all those bad things that you've done in the past, the areas that you've missed the mark, when in order to get to where you want to go, you have to realize that missing the mark was just part of the process. It was just part of you learning how to aim down the sights and find the right target. And you know, most people are afraid of growth. Not because it is hard, not because it creates stress or pressure, Most people are afraid of growth because they've never seen anybody else do it. They've never seen any celebrity or famous person up in bright lights do exactly what they're doing because they don't have their path. We don't share the same stories. Our stories are infinitely different, even though we are infinitely the same. So when an opportunity comes, the fork in the road, the moment to level up, they choose the easy way out instead of going after it because there is no rule book. There is no guidelines. When you get on the consistent, persistent pursuit of your passions, you live by the Ralph Waldo Emerson quote, "Do not follow the path. Instead, go where there is no path and leave a trail." And I was watching the Joe Rogan Experience the other day, and it was actually the JRE MMA, and I forgot to load this in here, so I'll pop this up, Deez. I was watching the episode with Ilya Tapuria, and I got to say right off the bat, I was wrong about Ilya. I was not the biggest fan for a while, and I just thought the way he moved, who he was, the things he talked about, I just wasn't the biggest fan. But it's crazy. You hear somebody's story, as I said only a few episodes ago, and the amount of understanding that you gain from that person is absolutely incredible. And I took the time to watch the entire episode. And of course, on the JRE MMAs, they talk a lot more about MMA and what's going on in the fight world and all that. So that's why I love it. But every once in a while, there's some real good stuff said. And Ilya had this quote that I thought was absolutely amazing when it comes to growth. So this right here is Ilya Tapuria live on the JRE.
Me that made me the person who I am today.
Did you know when you first started training, when you first started doing MMA, that you were going to fight professionally?
Yeah, since the first day. So my mindset always was the same, exactly the same as I have right now. I'm like, if someone did it, I also can do it. And if no one did it, I can be the first one to do it. This is the mindset I always had. And
yeah. If someone else did it, then I can do it. And if no one else has done it, then I sure as shit will be the first to do it. Is that your mindset? Is that how you attack this life? Is that the way you wake up every single day? Because if you do, that's where passion comes from. That's where that fire starts to come from. That's when it starts to become easy to tap into growth. And you start to hit a flow state. You begin to flow in the grow. And what is that flow state? It's just a state of no mind. It's a state of where you feel like you don't really have to think about anything. You're just doing. Like runners, right? When they first start running the first mile or two, it's like, son of a bitch. This is, fuck, here we go. And then by mile 3, all of a sudden they just numb out and their legs are just moving them and they're just going. I have a good friend. It's actually his birthday today. Shout out Dildo Kramer, my man, the myth, the legend, the one, the only. Happy birthday, Dill. The one, the only. He is a marathon runner, triathlon, Ironmans. He actually just did an Ironman this past weekend. And he does them in his sleep. And I said, man, what is that flow state like? And he said, honestly, bro, I've never hit it. I said, what? He said, I am so dedicated to growing and challenging myself and seeing how far I can push my body that I've never really hit a flow state. I know I have so much more I can give. That's why I keep going further and further distances and doing crazier and crazier shit and swimming and biking and running and trying to build this business on top of it and working my job and doing all this shit. I'm so dedicated to just becoming better that I haven't ever really found a flow. I haven't ever really felt that feeling. And I started thinking about that. Sometimes maybe we don't feel that flow state. So what is flow? Maybe there's an easier way to look at it. Maybe we're trying to feel this flow state, this no mind, and we can't ever tap into it. So your second acronym of the morning, flow, finding logical options wisely. Finding logical options wisely. You know the right things to do as you grow. As you hit the flow, you know the next right step, even though sometimes you ain't got a clue what move to make. Everything feels wrong, so you just got to make one in hopes that it turns out right. That's still finding logical opportunities. Taking the 3 down to 2 from Simon Sinek yesterday, breaking it this or that, this or that, this or that, this or that, boom. Now you got your answer. Finding logical options wisely. Not doing the wrong things, not wasting your time, not tossing the towel in and giving up. Finding the flow state is just finding logical options wisely and making the next right choice. And when the best version of you is clearing its throat in the room over, you listen and you do what you know you need to do to become that version of you. And to bring it full circle to this point, you don't hang on to the version of you in this room. You leave it, you go into the hallway, and then you become the best version of you. Maybe you can view it like this. You are in this room as the current version of you as pudding and sticks, but your soul, your being, your higher self has to leave that room, float around in the hallway for a little while in the infinite universe, adding to the equation, figuring out how you actually work through the equation. And then all of a sudden that soul is sucked back down into the new version of you, the new pudding and sticks that is out there to go make the next challenge happen. Go turn the next obstacle into an opportunity. Go summit the next mountain. And then it's all wash, rinse, repeat. But you have to leave that lower vibrational version of yourself at the doorway of the next door to your higher self. So as you get rid of old ways, you begin to find logical options wisely. And all of a sudden, you start showing that you're a better version of you. You're starting to make the right moves. People are saying, there's just something about you. There's something different. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is. And all you're doing, sharing how one wins. Sharing how one wins. Show is not showing off and, oh, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, I'm the smartest man in the room, I have figured out the secrets to this thing called life. No, you just do it. You be the light, and you share how one wins through your actions, not by how you talk, not by how you think. It is easy to think. It's hard to act. To act as one thinks is the most difficult. Are you doing that? Are you acting as you think, as you grow, as you get rid of old ways, as you find logical options wisely? Are you utilizing those to show others how one wins? To show others how easy it is to climb up that mountain if you just keep showing up? If you just keep getting rid of old ways? If you just keep finding logical options wisely, you will show how one wins. So, my friends, those are the secrets behind grow, flow, and show. And realize that they are in that order. You must grow. You must get rid of old ways. It's not all about the new ways and reading the books and listening to the podcast and tapping into the things and starting a business and getting on the consistent, persistent pursuit of the passions. That's amazing. But it's also about getting rid of old ways. And as you get rid of those old ways, it becomes easier to find logical options wisely. And as you continue down that path, forging one where there isn't one before, you will be able to show others how one wins. So, my friends, tap into the secrets of grow, flow, and show, and you just might have everything that you ever imagined. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Shout out to all you beautiful humming beings. tapped in, locked in, live in prime time. Appreciate the hell out of all you live and in the chat. I promise you, you ain't gonna find that stuff anywhere else. Well, you will find grow if you look. Get rid of old ways. Getting rid of old ways is what I said. But you're not gonna find flow. You're not gonna find show. I came up with that last night as I was just kind of thinking on this and how does this all work? And that's how my God works. That's the gift I have. That's what I've been blessed with. And I would be doing him a severe disservice if I did not show up every single day. If I did not tap into grow, flow, and show. If I did not actively work to become the best version of me. I mean, I posted it in the Gateway to go a little bit more in depth of the conversation I had with G.R.O.W. of, help me remove my masks and the illusions that I'm believing and that whole thing. I posted the prompt and everything in there and kind of gave you guys a little bit more backstory that I didn't know on the timeline. I always do that in the Gateway of why I did this. And, it's purely because I'm trying to become the best version of me. And as I become a better version of me, as I unlock the chains that are on my life and realize that I have the key, then I just come to this show and share the keys with you guys. And whether you're in that chain or whether you're not, maybe you broke out of that chain, but now you gain more perspective on it and you really realize that you did, whatever it is, if I'm going to say one thing that helps you move a thought, move a muscle, change a position in a positive direction, then I did my job. And that's all I'm here to do each and every single day. Shout out to each and every one of you that give me the opportunity to do so. Baby. Well, my friends, that's all I got for you for your first segment of the day. It's time to keep this proverbial show train steaming on down the tracks of change as we make our way all the way towards Perspective Station and we get into your second segment of the day. It is time, friends and family, for some other humming beans to join us on this show and give us some high quality perspective, don't you know? As we send the second era of the day your way, it's time for your Reaction Refinery. Okie dokie, artichokes. Here we are, back live in prime time, second segment of the day, episode 712, Forge and Fuel, baby. Fantastic Friday, April the 18th, 2025. Hope you're ready to keep coming alive. Maybe that Java in your cup's helping you just a little bit. Hopefully, these vibes on this side of the screen are doing it for you. Who's to say, who's to know, but I need a little heat up because we're coming to the point in the show where I get to sip on this Java a little bit. And I get to listen to some other amazing humming beans. Speaking of some amazing humming beans, your first clip out of your 1, 2, 3, and 4, as always, here on your Reaction Refinery, features a ton of high-level humming beans. It's one of those compilation reels. One of them ones that's got a bunch of clips of different high-level, thought-provoking humming beans giving their perspectives on a general, centralized topic. And that topic this morning, my friends, to kick us off, is become undeniable.
Revenge is to be undeniable.
If you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you can't do something, not even yourself.
If you're aiming towards...
Uh-oh. Is that glitching? Let's try it again.
The best revenge is to be undeniable.
If you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you can't do something, not even yourself.
If you're aiming towards greatness, you don't get there by...
Is that glitching? Is that glitching for you too, D's? Is it? No? It's good? Okay, for sure. Maybe it's just me. All right, back to it.
What other people think.
I realize you go higher, you go even more alone.
To be exceptional means that you are the exception, means that you are not normal. And so it's normal for normal people to find you abnormal if you do things that are not normal.
This isn't for the masses. This is for those who want to leave normal behind. Those who are in search of a new realm.
And one day you finally knew what you had to do and began. Though the voices around you kept shouting their bad advice.
I genuinely fear for the day where you realize just how much potential you had, where you realize that all of the limitations that you put on yourself were completely made up.
You either commit yourself as a professional racing driver that is designed to win races, or you come second, or you come third, or you come fifth. And I'm not designed to come third, fourth, or fifth. I race to win.
Take the path you've been scared to follow.
The only way you're ever going to get to the other side of this journey is you have got to suffer. Pain is temporary.
Don't let people who have mediocre goals,
but eventually it will subside,
deter you from taking actions that make you great.
And something else will take its place. If I quit, however, it will last forever.
Become undeniable. Without struggle, there is no strength. Without trial, there is no tribulation, there is no triumph. Without loss, there is no lesson. Without obstacle, there is no opportunity. You are just being forged into the best version of you. You are just being asked to get rid of old ways because you have a higher calling than where you are currently at. Why you feel so stuck, why life feels so hard is because you are not where you're supposed to be. And you're not supposed to be less than. You're supposed to be greater than. You're supposed to be more. So choose the path that you're afraid to walk on. Choose the path at the fork in the road when you see rainbows, puppy dogs, and unicorns and ice cream to the left, and you look right and you see the valley of the shadow of death and muck and mire. Choose that one. Go there. Because you can't lose. You can't die. They can't take your birthday. You have the highest power in the universe on your side if you simply choose to believe. And then when you are in that dark valley, you do not have to be afraid, because then a rod and a staff comforts you in the valley. You are a simple sheep walking down a path with the ultimate shepherd guiding you. And isn't it funny how in today's society we call people sheep? Isn't it funny how that's something bad to be? But in the kingdom, in the greatest of all of this, what created where we have a chance to be those sheep are the most renowned. The greatest of you will be the least of you. It's your time to grow. It's your time to become undeniable. When somebody sees you, when somebody takes stock of what you're doing, they can't help but say, whoa, I got to know that guy. I got to be in touch with that humming being. I got to tap in, tune in, see what the hell they're up to. Become undeniable. Look yourself in the mirror. I saw the comment. Think about Londa Ray. Shout out Londa Ray. We ain't seen her for a while. Shout out Londa Ray. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I am undeniable. Be undeniable. There is no doubt, no fear, no worry in undeniable. It is only forward. It is only I am, I shall, I will. Damn straight, Matilda. Become undeniable. I got more. Shout out, girl. Hey, you want to say hi to the people? Hey. You're an ass from Assville.
Wrong.
You know? You're an ass from Assville. Just standing there staring. Come over here and say hi to the people. Get over here. Hold on. Pause. Let's see.
Wrong.
All pun intended. Pause. Hey, come here. Come here. You get over here. What an ass, dude. An ass from the Assville. All right, if she jumps up on the bed and goes to sleep, then I need to run over there, scoop her up, and I'll bring her. And right now, she's just being a little ass and rubbing against my leg and going in circles around the bottom of the desk here. So, pardon the interruption. There has become Undeniable. Your second clip of your second segment of the day, my friends, features a high-level humming being, a hilarious high-level humming being, who goes by the name of Ross Pearson, and he's here this morning to give us the hilarious truth about life.
Not teach us in school, and what I wish they would have taught me. I don't care who you are or where you're from, we all live the same life, and it goes like this. You wake up to your world about age 16. About age 16, you say to yourself, oh, I need to get a job one day. So I'm gonna have to work real hard at a skill to make money. But you know what? I wanna make a lot of money. So I'm gonna work and work and work to become an expert at a skill. And then one day out of the blue, I get a relationship going. Now I gotta keep the job going because she needs a lot of money. But now not only do I have to be an expert at my job, all of a sudden I have to be an expert at relationships. This is hard. She wants me to be masculine yet sensitive. Then we bought a house. Now I have to be a plumber. I have to be an electrician. I have to be a landscape artist. I have to be an expert at taxes. Now we have children. Now I'm a doc. Oh shoot, I just lost one of the kids. Hold on, we got another. Now I'm a doctor, I'm a mentor, I'm a theologian. And all of a sudden I hear from my wife, honey, I don't get enough attention. There is no time.
Does that not go back to what exactly I was talking about yesterday? And the system tells kids 16, 17, 18 that they got to go to college and get a good job, and life's all about job and money and work real hard. That was the lie I was sold. You know, go to college, get a good job, make some money, get yourself a house, and ride off into the sunset with the white picket fence. That's a lie and a half. And how crazy is that? How crazy is that by focusing on a job and a skill or whatever it is and trying to make money, that we don't become the best versions of ourselves. We don't really sit back and analyze who we are and what we need, because we get stuck in the rat race and we're just trying to be better and we get in competition and all this shit. So then we're not the best version of ourselves, and we meet someone else who's not the best version of themselves. And then we decide, well, you complete me. Why do you think that's a saying? Because people haven't been complete in themselves. And if you can't be complete in yourself, how the hell do you think you're ever going to complete somebody else? It's not possible. So then you have two people who don't know themselves trying to learn each other. Holy shit. Oh, two people who don't even know themselves trying to learn each other. And then they bring on tons of financial stress, which adds into the arguments and the bullshit and the confusion of who we really are. And then they fuck around to try and get happy for a little while and bring children into the world. And then it's just more stressors, and they don't know what's going on. And they're trying to juggle all this shit. And then they realize at 40, 50, 60 years old, the kids are out of the house and they never did anything for them. They never fucking grew. They never caught the grow flow show. They just stuck at 16 years old. And then they wake up at 56 one day saying, holy shit, I think the same way I did when I was in high school. I'm doing the same shit I did when I was in high school. What the hell is going on? And then maybe a woman wakes up and says, I'm not getting enough attention. And a divorce happens. And then more issues occur. More financial struggles. More problems with children and relationships and families. And by golly goodness, is that a pain in the ass. I would not wish divorce on my worst fucking enemy. It's a cycle that I plan to break. I will not add into the fucking rates. If I'm not the best version of me, which no one's ever going to be perfect, but you can get damn close. You know what you need to do. You know the things you need to work on. You know the things others would fix, but you choose not to fix. Don't bring those into a relationship. Just like when you go to have a conversation with the clerk at the gas station, don't bring your negativity onto their fucking shit. Why would you bring all your negativity and all your shit onto somebody else? Maybe it's not not their job to fix our fucking problems, but just be somebody who is a support structure. They aren't there to give us the magic key to be the one to free us from the chains of our lives. The key is in our back pocket, but we get in relationships to try and fix our problems. Oh, this person completes me in this way or that way. They have their own problems. Maybe if we started working on our problems a little bit younger, we started getting out of the system, we started teaching our kids what it really means to be the best version of them before the system puts their claws in them and never lets them go, maybe that's when real change will start to occur. Oh, somebody got so hyped up, she came all the way up to the show. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I guess I'm spitting fire flames. Who's to say, hey, you want to say hi? Huh? Nothing to say to the people? Hello? Hello? Get out of here. Shout out, Matilda. The hilarious truth about life. Taylor Bear's trying to have some fun on the show today. Well, there you go, friends. Your second clip of the morning and my thoughts along with it. Your third clip of the day, friends and family, features a young lady who got in some trouble on TikTok because she gave her thoughts and perspectives and opinions, and a lot of people felt like she was talking directly to them, which she probably was, because a lot of people have some broke habits and they just don't know it. So my friends, joining us this morning, the one and only Courtney Johnson, here to give you some perspective on rich versus poor habits.
So rich versus poor habits. Yeah, you're going to get me canceled, but I created a TikTok video about things that my broke friends talk about at dinner versus my wealthy friends, because I have a lot of broke friends and I have a lot of wealthy friends. I was broke like 2 years ago. So it seems in the patterns that I observe that my wealthier friends talk more about like goal setting. They talk more about what they're working on, their fitness. Like they share their, oh, here's my CPA or here's my financial advisor or whatever. And they seem, probably because they have money, to be able to, their mind is freed up so they can talk about more like existential topics. My broke friends tend to talk more about sports, celebrity gossip, surface level shit. I created this video because I wanted to show that maybe a part of gaining wealth is the mentality of the things that you're talking to your friends about and the things that you're consistently reflecting on. If the only things that you're talking about and consuming is just sports and celebrity and pop culture, like you're a vessel, like you.
I love that. We called people mouth breathers. Mouth
breather. Like that's a mouth. And there's nothing wrong.
But vessel's a good one. I'm going to incorporate that.
But there's nothing wrong with sports. This whole place is like sports decked out.
Isn't that some interesting thoughts? Fucking mouth breathers watching baseball. Oh, let me get another Cheeto. Oh, let me get a sip of Diet Coke. Wow, that seems like some. I can barely even mouth breathe. I can't even do that. I have to actively think about how to do that. That almost makes me lightheaded to do that. What are your habits? What are you talking about? Maybe the reason why you stay stuck is because you're focused on what the system wants you to be focused on instead of breaking out of it and how you can forge your own path. I say it all the time. Most people aren't deeper than a bucket of water. You kick them over and everything in them spills out. And they can tell you what the third baseman for the Mets, what he did what his batting average is right now, and how many plays he's made, and how many errors he's got on the season, and what he's done for his entire career. But they can't tell you a damn thing about where their money's going. You ask them how their investments are going. They don't have a clue in the world. They can tell you all about the Chicago Bears, but they can't tell you anything about Chicago policy. They got no idea what's happening in their own damn city, but they sure know what the hell's happening with Caleb Williams. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? And they'll go as far to buy a jersey and rock another man's last name on their back to try and live vicariously through that individual. So maybe just one day that they can tune out all their shit and watch this person who knows them and they have a relationship and that's their best friend when you've never met them. They don't give a damn about you. And if you probably ever had a conversation with them, they would think you're a weird ass, but you worship the ground they walk on. And then you get stuck into the daily monotony once again, Monday through Saturday. I surround myself with people who want to talk about how do we go forward? How do we break out? What's this new piece of tax code you found? Hey, what's this investment? How do we go about doing this? Hey, what book are you reading? Oh, well, I listened to this podcast. Whatever it is. Oh, I found this new tip for business. Check this shit out, man. Everything's moving with AI. Check this out. That's the type of conversations I need to have. And, shout out Dave if you're watching from the gym. I shared the podcast with him and he came up to me yesterday and he gave me a fist bump and he said, great fucking content. That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of shit we need. That's the type of shit we need. And I said, man, it just goes back to the conversation we had when I originally shared the show with you. These are the conversations that I have. These are the type of deep thoughts that I have. I don't think on a surface level. I go way fucking deep. And if that's too much, then this show isn't for you because we get deep. And maybe that's, the Gateway isn't for you. Those are people who think deep. When you say something, you don't have to explain what you're thinking about. You don't have to break everything down. They already have that level of understanding and they meet you where you are and they tell you, hey, great ideas, great thoughts. Love where you're at. Have you ever thought about this? Check this out a little bit. And then all of a sudden the blockades that were in your path just crumble away and you're able to get a next rung. You're able to hit that next rung on the ladder. You're able to level up just a little bit more. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Rich people or poor people? And sometimes it all comes down to the mindset. Every time, I would actually argue. Your fourth and final clip of the morning, my friends, features a man who I am a massive fan of. Actually reposted some of his content this morning off of my X page. Shout out to the legend himself, who was one of the first individuals that I found when I got into these mindsets. I started to try and figure out why the hell I was thinking differently than everybody else. I found the legendary Inky Johnson. And this man has given me so much great perspective. And yet again, here he is with another knowledge bomb on the fact that you can't mess up God's work.
Honest with you, man, you can't mess up God's work. Like, you ain't that nice. You ain't that nice that you can mess up what God has orchestrated. I should think I can mess up God's work. Like, God put me in every room I've ever been in. I used to be backstage like, man, I don't want to do this. What if I don't say that? I can't mess up God's work. This God's work. The purpose serves a purpose that's a lot greater than any individual in the room. Every single thing you touch, every single thing you do, every single day, you got to prove how great you are. I'm talking about in every single thing I do, I got to prove how great I am. From a communication standpoint, valuing the information, valuing the people I feel I've been called to serve. Championships don't just happen. Right? Honor the process of where you are. Bring everything you got to where you are. Show you faithful over a few so God can make you rule over many. So when you get to a certain point, you know that nobody put you there. God put you there. God elevated you there by the work that you put in. Man, hear me. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap. You judge each day by the seeds that you sow. Sow your seed, man.
Shout out Ink, man. I fucking love that dude. Oh, shit. Shout out Ink. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you sow. Did I not only say a few shows ago, when you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning, look at that version of you. You go throughout your day, you hit the challenges, the obstacles, the losses, the trials, the tribulations, the failures, all the bullshit. When you go to brush your teeth, wash your face, scrub your ass at the end of the night, and you look yourself in the mirror again, are you a better version of you? Did you do what you were supposed to do? Did you make the right moves? Did you grow, flow, and show? Did you get rid of old ways? Did you find logical opportunities wisely? And did you show others how one wins? Because if so, you're doing the right thing. You can't mess up God's plan. You can sure get off the path, but that's why your life feels so messed up. because you're sitting closer to your problems than you are to the one who can get you to and through the problem. That's the secret. And me personally, I'm held to that high standard. I have to wake up every single day and choose greatness. I have to wake up and prove every day that I can be faithful with few to show that I can rule over many. And true kings don't really need to rule nobody. G. Yamazawa. And true love, in real words, I can't remember the other line. I'm blanking right now. But I got to listen to that line later on today. But you can't mess it up. You can't fail. There are no failures. That's what this mindset is. Show up every day. Give your best. Do what you know you need to do. Grow, flow, and show. Bring it all full circle. Now's the time, my friends. Now's the moment. When are you going to step up? When are you going to stop? Believe in your own ways, old ways. When are you going to stop doubting? When are you going to stop having fear? I'm right there with you. It creeps in, but it's only for a millisecond now for me. Not it. Nope. I know who I am and whose I am. I'm held to that standard. I have to walk tall. I have to shine so bright they don't know what time of day it is. 4th and 5th place was never meant for me. I was always meant to be number one. And not number one in some race of the world, but number one in my own life. And it's the same for you. And whatever race you're running, you will complete it. The only reason why the finish line seems so far away is just because you keep stopping for drinks. And maybe like my guy Dylan, maybe you just are searching for a flow state. You're searching for the right feeling. You're searching for a green flag to show you that you're making the right move. But maybe just being on the path is the right move. And maybe staying in the race, no matter how bad it is, how little you have, how many questions you have floating around in your life, maybe staying in the race is all that matters, because that's the only way you have to get to the winner's circle. And the moment you drop out of the race is the moment that you never get another opportunity. Shout out the legendary Inky Johnson, Courtney Johnson, a couple of Johnsons. Hey, get your mind out of the gutter. Ron Pearson, and all the high-level humming beans that were on the compilation clip to open up your second segment of the day. But my friends, there is your reaction refinery. It is now time to get into the third and final clip of the day. Segment of the day. And if you don't know, you won't know, but this is where we like to connect with you, the live viewer. And I've been seeing that chat going and flowing all morning long. I haven't had an opportunity to read through the whole doggone thing, but I would like to right now. So that's why we've dedicated an entire segment of the day to connect with you, to see what you've got to say. So my friends, whatever you have burning on the brain, melting on the heart, festering way deep down on the soul in relation to today's show, or maybe something totally out in left field that still brings it all together, maybe a nice little cherry on top of the proverbial show Sunday. Now is your opportunity to get it out if you haven't already. Drop it over in the live chat, whether you're on YouTube, Rumble, or X, and we will pop it up on the screen after this brief transition. Nah, me. As we send that third and final arrow of the day your way. Friends and family, it's now time for your answers from the Anvil. Alrighty then, my friends. Here we are back live in prime time on your final segment of the day, Answers from the Anvil, here on episode 712 of Forge and Fuel on this fantastic Friday, April the 18th, 2025. And I hope you've been coming alive. Speaking of, I've been seeing a few of you come alive all morning long over there in the doggone chat. So now's the opportunity to see what y'all have been saying and the type of vibes you've been pushing. So without further ado, D-double-E-Z-double-Y. You know what to do, my guy. Who we got out there on this fantastic Friday morning? Grammy P live in the building. First one in the chat. GP, roll out the red carpet. The queen is in the building. GM family, best way to start your day right here at F&F. So let's spread that PLP and be the light. Show kindness all day. Blessings to all. Blessings right back your way, GP. We appreciate you. Thanks for all your love and support of the show. Thanks for being live in prime time in the chat, as always. Our friends over at Albright's Fur Farm, shout out Mr. Jared Albright behind the account, and Tico and Charlie staring at you right there. Boom, Friday is here. Yes, great morning, everyone. Feeling so much better today. Praise God for finally realizing what the problem was. We are on a swift road to recovery now. Shout out, Jared Albright. Glad you're feeling better. Glad you're doing good. Glad you're rocking and rolling once again, my friend. Mama Capp, Kim Jones in the building. Great morning, F&F crew. Great morning to you, Mama Bear. Appreciate you being live in prime time as always. Thanks for all your love and support here on the show. Chris Aswomala. Great morning, Diamond Hand fam. Have an amazing day, baby. Shout out to you, Chris Aswomala. Appreciate you bringing those vibes in the chat. Our girl Demetra live in the building. Great morning, fam. I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. Right back your way, young lady. Appreciate all your love and support of this show and the entire Diamond Hand fam. Don't you know? Who else we got out there this morning, D's? Mrs. Metal live in the building. Great morning, fam. Happy Friday. Today's reminder is to unplug from your electronics and ground yourself. Now go be great in their face on purpose and spread that love and light everywhere. Love the reminder, Mrs. Metal. Take a little extra time this weekend to put those phones down, all those electronics, do a little detox. Maybe go out there, walk around on the ground if that old sunshine is shining all around. Whew. Who's to know? Shout out to you. Jason Welch, Gator 48, live in the building. What up, Gator man? Great morning. Great morning to you, brother. Appreciate you being live in the building, as per usual. Voodoo, the man, the myth, the legend. Get rid of worry. Ooh, helping out with the acronym. Ooh, I like that. Get rid of worry. Good shit. Shout out, Voodoo. Like that perspective, too. Angel SD, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Peguero. How do you do? Happy Friday, F&F crew. Just crushed my morning workout. Shout out, Angel. Must have crushed it so hard he crushed it with a K. Holy shit. Shout out, Angel. Appreciate you. Thanks for being live in prime time, as always. G.Lou, Mr. G.Lou and Mrs. G.Lou. How do you do, the both of you? GM. Great morning, my guy. Always great to see you live in prime time in the chat. Shout out to all you. Perfect is a matter of perspective. That's right, Diamond Hand Media Group, a.k.a. D-double-E-Z-double-Y. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. Permanent is where you want to be because perfect is simply a state of mind, baby. Whew. Who's to say, who's to know? Shout out to all you beautiful human beings. Tapped in, tuned in, locked in, live in prime time to the show. Appreciate you getting in the chat and helping that third segment of the day flow. Always great to see you, amazing human beings, hanging out with us and starting your day the right way. A couple of reminders for you, though, my friends and family. Number one, the J&J Weekend Getaway. Today seems like a hell of a day to secure your spot and get your tickets to the third annual Weekend Getaway here in Chicago in the North Shore, June 27th, 28th, 29th. Now, my friends, I will tell you that we are thinking about moving that last ticket day even forward a little bit more. Now, you might say, whoa, what the hell? Wait. I'm trying to get my ducks in a row. Well, hey, you know, I feel like if you're not really committed a month out, if you're not knowing, because, you know, when I used to really frequent events, I get my tickets and shit 2 months out. Like I get all my hotel, my flights, my tickets, all my shit. And then I would know I'm going. And then I would just get all my energy and everything going into that thing. I wouldn't wait until the last 2 weeks and then, oh, scramble out and get a ticket. I got to find flights and oh shit, a hotel. So thinking about moving it forward, even a little bit more than that now June 3rd date, because if you're in, you got to be in. You got to be locked in. And, you know, depending on how many people we have, it's going to allow us to either adjust or move or change this or do this little thing or make this happen here. There's so many different things that we're going to be able to do by solidifying and knowing how many people are coming to the third annual J&J Weekend Getaway. So keep your eyes peeled for that. We'll definitely talk about that in the Gateway. I'll give you some more updates once we kind of have some final conversations on that with the whole team and kind of get our noggins together and decide what direction we're going here. So for the time being, still everything is the same as it is. You can find the tickets on all of the links on the socials for the J&J Weekend Getaway. You can follow on X and Instagram at J_WG. J, the letter N, J_WG. And you can also check it out on our website. There's a J&J Weekend Getaway tab on the DHMgroup.io. And you can also find the tickets in the link of this, in the description, in the links of this fine show, accompanied by the Gateway links. If you'd like to also become a full-time member of the Diamond Hand fam, well, you start out as a hang-around and then a prospect, and then you become a full-time member, which I just realized somebody else became a full-time member. Maybe somebody's going to be getting a challenge going sometime in the future. Who's to know? We'll just have to keep paying attention until that comes around, don't you know? But if you'd like to start your 7-day free trial today, you can find that link down there too. You can find the link to Mine and Shine Apparel if you'd like to rep this show, get you a little Forge and Fuel swag. Who's to say, who's to know? Or if you're just looking for something pertinent to the Diamond Hand Media Group, myself, DEEZYY, or something in between, you once again can find it all in the links of this episode's description. And while you're down there laughing, looking at those links, maybe you could take a moment to smash a subscribe button, turn on a notification bell, maybe even crush a like button as well. What I'm trying to tell you is to not be a hoe and share the show and take a moment to the shit out of whatever button you see on your screen, because it only helps us continue to grow and flow and make this show and all the shows that fall under the Diamond Hand Media Group umbrella bigger and better for each and every one of you. But my friends, that's all we've got coming your way on this fantastic Friday. Your 1, 2, and 3 segments of the day, Grow, Flow, and Show, is officially a wrap. No mas, no mo. As James Brown once said, it's time to get on up and get on out now. But not before we remind you of a few key and critical things. Number 1, even a 2-year-old can make an excuse. Number 2, even a dead fish can go with the flow. What? And number 3, being that this here show is a member of the Diamond Hand Media Group, I ask you keep in mind at DHMG, we don't only HOLD, we hold each other up. And right now is one hell of a time to flex those diamond hands. Shout out to all you beautiful humming beings tapped in, tuned in, locked in live in prime time. Here to the best way to start your day. Forge and Fuel, episode 712, baby. That is officially a wrap. Paper or plastic? Put a bow on that Shamama beach. It's time to flip the open sign to closed and go share these vibes with the world outside. But not before we also remind you that maybe you should utilize this weekend to build the life you're currently dreaming about, instead of utilizing it to escape the one that you're currently living. Remember also that you are kind, you are smart, you are important, and you are loved. We can't thank you enough for investing your most valuable assets with us this morning, your time and your attention. You could have invested them 1,000,001 other ways, and the fact that you chose to here, we are forever grateful. We'll continue to pay that back to you, give you some ROI on that investment, some high quality ROI, by showing up each and every day on the consistent, persistent pursuit of our passions and being right by your side while you pursue yours. But my friends, until our paths cross again, you know what the vibes shall be. And maybe it's in a Discord, a VC, a DM group chat, or even the Gateway, baby. Or maybe it's back here on this show, same time, same place, Monday morning after a few days off to reset and reconnect over the weekend. But wherever we see you, you know what the vibes will be. But for now, for my man, your guy, Derek DZ Snow, DEEZYY, Mr. Producer of this fine morning show. And for yours truly, Colton, Capp, Sroka. We can't thank you enough for choosing to stop by and get your Friday started the right way. We hope you have a fantastic rest of it unless you have any other plans. But for now, my friends, as per usual, peace and love.